everybody? Welcome back to Toes on the Line. This is going to be part 2 with me, my boy Sully Parker, man. And I haven't spoken to the people in a while, and people have been sending me texts, DMs, messages in my tweet box. You know, I was like, Gio, man, you don't talk to the people no more. So I'm going to talk to the people. I'm going to fill y'all in what's going on. So, not much to the start of 21. Same old. Still at Fordham University. We're still coaching hard. You know, the football team, we're getting ready for a season in March, so we're actually heading into camp this week. We actually started on Friday. So February is going to feel like somewhat of an August with a lot of weather differential there. So we have a 4-game season in March with those guys. And, you know, the conference is kind of split into 2 pods. So, you know, the winner of each pod, I guess, plays for the championship. And as of right now, we're fully rolling into a season this fall as well. So my biggest hope, knock on wood, I hope y'all heard that, nobody gets severely injured. So I really want to see guys compete at a high level in the fall when, quote-unquote, a true football season is going on, 12-game schedule, whatnot. But anyway, my volleyball girls, they're rolling. We played 1 game thus far. We're rolling. We got, more games lined up this year through March 26th. Our season ends on my birthday. Thank you. But we're doing well. Those girls, I'm just strength training. And, some girls are developing faster in the weight room than others. Some are back squatting, some are not. Some have efficient ankle mobility and torso rigidness, and some don't. And that's where the individualization of the program comes into play. And I'm going to actually put some girls on the gym awares to see their outputs, and I'm looking to monitor a few things there and see progress a different way than weight on the bar. My water polo boys, hope we can get through a full season with those guys as well. I think we're ranked like 14th in the nation or something like that. And I get it. People always knock me, say, well, there's not a lot of water polo teams that play NCAA. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. We're ranked. Don't hate on that. But they're rolling. With those guys, I'm just focused on a lot of stabilization in the joints because they spend a shit ton of time in the water. I call them my sea creatures. They're not my land mammals. And it's crazy because when you have, I don't know what people see with their swimmers or their divers or, their water polo athletes, but their lower body stability is not as efficient as an athlete who plays their sport on land. And my thoughts are because, well, they're never really on one leg running or jumping or cutting, so they don't have time to develop stability in the joints. Upper body wise, I train them just like my baseball team. Just like, my volleyball girls, I basically train all the overhead sports here at Fordham. Volleyball, baseball, water polo. I'm the head guy for those teams. I assist with the football program. I'm also the head guy for the track team, so I'm getting a lot of my force production, force development, rate of force development with those guys and girls. And that's fun because I test out a lot of different programming methods with the track team, and it seems to work. But I did something a little different with the track team now that I'm on the topic there. So when I came back in January, when I timed their 10, 20, and 30, I wanted to see acceleration from a dead start, and I wanted to see how long they can accelerate through 20 meters. And then from the 20 to 30, I just wanted to see their flying 10. And I want to somewhat track that over time. And I'll be honest, I don't know how I'm going to do that, being that we're so busy with these COVID protocols and only limited to a certain amount of kids in the weight room and hours being, 14, 15 hours a day coaching. So it's tough to see where I can fit that stuff in. But I'm looking to do that at least once a month and see if we've improved our acceleration from 0 to 10, 0 to 20, and what our flying 10s look like over time. Baseball. And listen, I'll be honest, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm picking up from where I left off last spring before we got sent home for COVID. And I had a theory and something in mind, and I want to see if I can answer my own hypothesis on this. So I'm using the gym awares with my upperclassmen guys. Freshmen do not. They need to continue to develop in the program and develop strength and size. So, with them, I'm not concerned about how fast we're moving the weights, but, how efficient our movement is. Our competence in these movements, and can we get a lot more stronger than what we are now? So with the guys I have on the gym awares, doing a 2-week phase where we're hitting certain peak outputs, certain average velocities, and I'm looking to see time to peak velocity and that number decrease over time, right? Essentially increasing the rate of force production with these athletes, a little more fast twitch, right? Because baseball, we can all agree, it's a type 2X fiber sport, and it's you swing the bat, bang, it happens in an instant. You throw a pitch, bang, happens in an instant. Now, the running involved in the sport's different analysis, but the main part of the sport, throwing the ball and hitting the ball, It's a type 2X activity. High speed, bang, high output. Better be fast, better be explosive. Can't be slow. Now, with that being said, 2 weeks with a certain velocity range we're hitting. On the third week, we're hitting somewhat upwards of 85% to 87% of our 1RM. And it's a rep range. Hey, we're going to hit a certain rep range. Can we boost our 1RM? Last year, I did that cycle twice, and we didn't. Guys have gotten so much stronger doing that phase. And week 4, say what you want, unload, deload, lower intensity, lower volume. Yes, not so much lower volume. I kind of had that, ramped up to where, it's like a recovery phase week, and then we can get back into the speed stuff week 5, week 6. But anyway, it worked last year. We got sent home for COVID, and I'm like, shoot, I think I had something going on here, so I'm going to try it again this year. Why not? All I'm really going to do is change my C block exercises and stuff like that. But anyway, so last year worked. This year I want to see how we can continue to improve on that throughout the course of a season. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. But yeah, other than that, hey, Sully P, back in the place to be, baby. Toes on the line. We're talking speed, change of direction, and strength training. And the strength training part, Sully just talks about what he uses in the weight room to improve the speed qualities of his athletes. Hey, nothing crazy. Master the basics. We're not getting fancy. We're not trying to look sexy here. So Sully touches base on that stuff, and then, we throw another curveball towards the end of the episode, and we're finishing up, with a little bit of sports talk here, a little bit of fantasy talk, and we're also going to talk about Sully's quote unquote secret hidden talents that he has at the end of the episode. So you don't want to miss that. You want to stick around, check it out, right? Get ready, line them up, lock and load, get ready to go. Let's shit, man. What do you want to get into? You want to get into some speed training? Or you want to stay away? We want to stay away from coaching, man. It's up to you, man.
No, I'll take it wherever you want to go, man. Wherever you want to go. I'm cool with the speed training. I'm sure a lot of your listeners probably want to listen more to that than the wrestling.
Yeah, my bad. I'm gonna have to go clip some of that shit down. But anyway, yeah, let's talk a little speed training, Sully. Now you've been doing this shit for a long, long time.
Yeah, man.
Not a long time. I don't want to make it sound old, man.
But it's getting there, bro. Like 12 plus, 13 years almost. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Just mastered the art of speed training. And like we said in the start of the episode, Sully's, the Bergen County all-decade team from 2000 to 2010. Do you still hold the record for the fastest? Was it 100-meter time? My bad, man. I might be selling you short here.
No. It's a 55-meter. I'm not sure I still hold it, to be honest. I gotta check that out, but I'm pretty sure somebody took it down by now. But yeah,
they always
had a pretty good. I had a pretty good record for a while.
Long run. I mean, shit. The boy played. What'd you play? Running back, cornerback,
cornerback, slot, kick return, punt return, wherever the speed was needed. Right.
I feel you, man. So let's dive into it, man. How you got into speed training? What are you doing now that what did you used to do that you're not doing now, and what are some of your speed training trends now that you stick to?
I mean, I've always been kind of gifted with speed. I was fast and really know what made me fast, or didn't know the tools or the things to get someone faster. Coaches kind of guided me along the way. We did a whole hell of a lot of lunges. I remember that. So, I attribute some of the speed to lunging. But I mean, as far as things that I don't maybe do that I used to do is I'm just learning that less is more, man. I know in the beginning, it was always just kind of we got to do more reps. You got to feel it. You got to be tired. You got to be felt like you actually did something today. But, I learned through the years that, I was actually, unfortunately, sometimes people were getting slower because the amount we were doing. So I just think that it's less is more, man. And I think that's a hard concept for people to kind of swallow, especially the athletes. They're always looking for more. But I used to do a lot more than I do now as far as reps and, the amount of work. You know what I mean? I do a better job of splitting things up and toning things down. We look for quality as opposed to quantity more so now than before. But as far as the things that, I still stick with too, I love my resisted sprints, whether it be with bands, sleds. Man, I think, that's a simple and effective way to get people faster, man. I mean, it's obviously takes consistency. You ain't just going to do it one time and think you're going to be fast for good or it's going to stay. But I like resisted sprints, man. I'm doing it then. I'm still doing it now. I'm big on that. I just probably do less than I used to,
No, it's funny you said it because I'm the same way. I used to do a lot looking back on my career. Now I do less. And I same method, less is more, Right. And I think it's tough for the kids because when you do a speed session, you're not going to feel like a fucking conditioning session, where you beat up and shit.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's the problem. I think they confuse conditioning for training. You know what I mean? Like, there's a time and place for that, but every session is not about getting your ass kicked and being tired,
Yeah. You want to be able to, learn something new, adapt to it, and bring it to the next session.
Yep.
I used to do the same thing. I used to do, hey, we're going to do, X amount of push-up starts, X amount of 2-point starts, X amount of resistance sprints. Then we're going to go full-out body sprints after, the resisted sprints. We're going to go, we're going to run. Hey, we're going to get about 840s in today when it's like, hey, you might be able to get 3, and then that's safe. Your fourth one's slower than your third one, and fuck it, we're done,
Right.
Shoot,
right,
man.
exactly.
But how do you program out your resistance sprints? Because I like that shit too, and I know some people are scared to implement them right away.
Yeah.
I mean, talking to some people like going technique first and then get into that shit. Some people like going, but I think resistance puts you into that form.
Exactly. That's why you kind of beat me to it. I'm not afraid to jump into, you're good. I'm not afraid to jump into resistance too early. I mean, obviously sometimes resistance form is going to take a hit because of the resistance, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're just trying to, run with maximal efforts and put as much force into the ground as we can. As long as they're not looking completely ridiculous and their forms, out of control, like throw in the resistance sprints, man. Anyone and everyone, beginner, veteran, seasoned athlete, whatever, in season, out of season, you're going to benefit from some resisted sprints. But, always make sure that the form is good. That hopefully at this point should go without saying. But, sometimes it's just, let's forget about form a little bit and let's just run our ass off. Let's run hard for 10 yards and then we'll look back at the video or we'll talk about it in between during our rest. But sometimes technique, I've realized we focus too much on technique and people forget that, you got to run hard at the end of the day. Forget about your technique,
Yeah. No. I'm right. Because even when you're in the middle of a fucking game, you're not thinking about chin in the back pocket.
Yeah, right.
Knee drive, trying to move fast. Man.
You're trying to get to the ball ASAP, and you got to produce maximal forces to do that. So, we'll talk about form if it really needs to be addressed, which most of the time it does. But I just need my guys running hard. You run hard, you're going to adapt and get faster.
Yeah. When do you focus more on form? When you're like looking for like 40 times and like 20-yard times and stuff like that?
Yeah. Now if we're talking about. Yeah, game speed is game speed. Like I got my soccer girls. We already know their arms are all over the place when they run. So we touch upon it, but when I'm not testing their 40 for time, it's not a combine test. When we start to get more into the testing things, then we maybe got to really fine tune our stance and our, how we come out and technique. Otherwise, I'm not, I'm gonna mention it. I'm gonna address it, but I'm not going to spend too much time beating them over the head about technique. I don't want to downplay technique. I'm just, you got to get these guys running hard. Maximal force production is what we're trying to get out of them. And if they're focused solely on technique, sometimes you don't get that.
Yeah. No, I feel you, especially, you hit the nail on the head there. Like we don't got to worry about how you start all the time. Because guess what? You're going to start from all these different fucking weird ass positions. You're going to start from a up tall, relaxed position, and you got to change direction and bang, hit it hard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's dope. I got to start doing that shit. I'm always setting people up in these 2-point stances. I'm like, I don't even think we need to be like my volleyball girls. Like, I don't think we even need to be in these 2-point stances.
Right. But look, it's good to learn because it teaches you how you can, push off and, it puts you in positions to succeed. But I don't know. I just feel sometimes people spend a little too much time on that when, you could be getting gains elsewhere.
Yeah. What types of resistance sprints do you like doing more? Like, do you
I'm old fashioned, man. I like bands. I mean, at Parisi, we got all these, fun tools and pieces of equipment, but I'm always going to be an old school guy. I like putting the bands around the waist where I can kind of dictate the resistance, kind of like, a little more, a little less.
Okay. Auto-regulated.
Yeah, I like that. I am a fan of the Vertimax. I don't know if you ever heard of the Vertimax.
Yeah.
But
Can you sprint out with that?
We do. We sprint out with that. It doesn't give you this, crazy amount of resistance, but it gives you just enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Less is more. Less is more, like you said.
Exactly. Because
I see people. Yeah. Exactly. I know exactly what you're gonna say, man. You see people put too much on and go nowhere, like a road runner.
We got the sled loaded with 185 pounds, and you got these kids trying to sprint. It's like they're not going nowhere. Their foot's on the ground for fucking 2 seconds. They're moving mad slow. Sometimes we got to tone it back. Like, resistance doesn't mean it needs to be fucking impossible to move. It just means they need a little resistance. You know what I mean?
I remember being at Parisi's. I seen a kid. Oh my God, not a kid. He was actually a college athlete at the time. You know what I'm talking about. He used to put I swear to God, 20 45s on that sled. And he, what the fuck? I don't even want to say his name, honestly. I remember his name now,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
He used to move it 3 yards, and he felt so accomplished, but it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
But
what are you going for? Fucking world record here, man? Yeah.
Especially in this social media world, that looks more attractive, I guess, than if you had 10 pounds on the sled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because 10 pounds looks like you're doing nothing, but you can't confuse speed with strength. I think a lot of people do, man. What about Are you big on the sled sprints? You still use those?
I do. I use them a little less, but yeah, I use them. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, too, like, a lot of my clientele, whether it be football players or whoever, they kind of think a sled, they enjoy the sled as opposed to the band. Like, the sled makes them feel like, oh yeah, I'm really doing something. So I'll throw the sled in there just to keep everyone happy, but I'm not against the sled. I just prefer the band,
What about the parachute? I hate the fucking parachute, man.
Nah, I used it one time and never again.
Never again. It's terrible. It's funny because my beef against it is, man, if you're running and a gust of wind comes out of nowhere,
it throws everything off.
Kiss your ass goodnight. Kiss that hamstring goodbye for 6 weeks,
There's a funny video of, I don't know who's coaching or who the athlete is, but the coach has the athlete on the curve of the track, the turn, the first turn.
Yeah, the first turn, yep,
doing sprints with the parachute, and the wind is taking him. He's in lane 2, but the wind is pushing him to lane 4 because it's just blowing the parachute. So, I think a lot of people just get accustomed to, let's just use this because I've seen this or I heard this. But it's all gimmicky a lot of times.
Yeah. I like the bungees. I use those for, I still call them Viper cords. It's funny because no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But
right.
I use those more when I'm doing some lateral stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk lateral stuff. Change of direction. Well, actually, before we go there, either one, I don't care. We can go back and forth. What's your principles for acceleration? Everyone's different, man.
Yeah. I mean, for acceleration, if you're going to accelerate, you gotta have some sort of body lean. May not have to be exactly 45 as we may have learned in the past, but you got to be low. You got to, be leaning, and you got to put force into the ground with positive shin angles. I feel like that's just basic for any acceleration, whether you're trying to accelerate laterally or forward, whatever. If you're trying to accelerate, you got to be low, you got to be leaning, and your shins got to be at an angle. You got to produce maximum force to get out of that. I think that's basic no matter what the sport, no matter who the athlete is. You got anything different? Anything I'm missing, you think? Or?
No. I use the same principles, brother. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people try to get too sexy and recreate a fucking wheel when it's like, dude, don't try to make the circle look more like an oval. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just, be low, positive shin angles, and put force in the ground. You'll accelerate. Some people's body angle are going to be at different degrees,
Yeah. You know what, though? It's my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's funny you say, it doesn't have to be 45 degrees, because I got away from that shit, too. Because I remember watching taking that all-T short sprints course, and they were like, listen, 45 degrees is very hard to hold, especially if you don't got the back strength to do so. Right. And then I remember even looking back at my coaching career, I used to have guys start too low when it's like, all right, that might hinder you. Now it's like, hey, if you could just lean out and push your body that way,
Right.
you'll get that way fast. Just don't stand up tall.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of taught, hey, 45 is, and then we use it like if it's 46, it's wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Coach,
it's just a general rule of thumb. Like you want to be at some sort of angle. 45, not everyone can hold that, but you can't be straight up, right? We want to be at some sort of forward lean.
Yeah. No push off coming when you're standing straight up.
Right.
I changed I changed my warm ups too. Like I don't do fucking high knees and none of that shit no more. I start doing like leg folds and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, people get crazy with the warm up. And we all hopefully know the warm up is important. As long as you're freaking getting those muscles fired up, hips, hammies, everything, then you're good. I know a lot of people try to bash warm ups and things like that, but
I think some people try to like create this like
crazy elaborate. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this, if you're doing speed training, this should be the warm up. And it's like, why are you jumping so much, dude? Like, like we got to fucking sprint. We're not fucking jump. Like, why are you doing all these vertical reps? You know what I'm saying? Like that to me doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean,
let's get warmed up.
The sprinting is a series of, single-legged jumps, but yeah, I mean, let's do what we need to do. Let's worry about less, pogos for height, trying to get like as high as we can off the ground when we're going to sprint, You just got to pick like, hey, your warm-up's 10, 15 minutes. Like, what do we need to really focus on to get them warmed up to perform what we need them to perform? You know what I mean? I mean, that people try to, like you said, make it super sexy and complicated. Like, just make sure they're warmed up, man. If they're about to sprint, make sure they got some sprints in before it's go time. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like I seen this one fucking warm-up. It's like someone on the gram posted this like speed routine warm-up, and then it's like he's doing pogos, and then he's moving with the pogos, and he's doing fucking bounds. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
I like all that. I like all that. I'm not against it. You know what I mean? But like I said, the warm up, I think some people try to like dissect it maybe too much. Not to downplay the warm up because we all know how important it is, but it's like, bro, it's the warm up, man. What are we doing? Let's get this guy ready. Let's go.
Yeah. I started putting some plyos into my speed sessions as a teaching tool. Like bounds, like
something.
Like I don't use bounds in my warm up, but I'll use them in my program. Like, we'll do some warm up runs, and it's like, hey, we're gonna bound before we get to like the sled work, and it's like, hey, this is what bounding is for. I need you to put force into the ground this way to go that way. And we get like 2 reps of like 10 yards, so let's get it in. So yeah. Anyway, let's transition over to fucking change the direction because that's still acceleration, man. What's your principles there, man?
It's still really the Parisi focal points. It's just you got to have a low center of gravity. If you want to do any kind of movement, you got to have a low center of gravity, strong back, you know what I mean? And lean the way you want to go. Like if we're trying to go to the left, I hope our center of gravity or body weight is to the left. It can't be to the right.
Yeah.
Just, basic things like that. Low center of gravity, lean the way you want to go, strong back. We're not like hunched over with poor ass posture, and a nice, wide base, hip width, shoulder width. It's just real basic stuff. And I guess maybe it's not basic because I see people doing a whole bunch of different other things, but I keep it simple. Big mentor of mine is Steve Leo. Coach Steve Leo.
Leo, he hired me at Parisi's, man. I give him mad respect still, bro.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, man. He really, I learned a lot from him, and he knows what the hell he's talking about. Yeah. And the biggest thing I learned from him is you always say KISS, which keep it simple, stupid. But short and simple, stupid. Short and simple is probably a little more, PR.
I like what you said. What do you say? Keep it short and stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. I like that because I feel like when I say some stupid shit, the kids laugh at it. They never forget about it.
Right. Yeah. And that's a good way to remember it because again, back to the warm up, back to the acceleration like we talked about. Like it's simple, basic principles, man. That's all you got to do. People doing all these extra other things that I feel, I'm sure they're gaining from it, but it's probably a little unnecessary. You can get more bang for your buck doing basic, simple stuff. Yeah. I've been doing it for 12 years. I did it for a while alongside with you. all of these simple ass things never failed me. My athletes, they stay healthy, they get stronger, they get faster. So like, I'm not going to change that. I think keeping it simple is the way to go.
It's easier for you too. Shit, man. Less thinking.
Big time. It's easier for me. It's easier for them.
Yeah.
And the product of it is always a good one. It's never failed me. I don't care who the athlete is, what level they're at, what sport they play. Keeping it simple works, man. And it kills me that people trying to find like you said, a new way to reinvent the wheel. But I guess that's human nature. We try to find better ways to do things, which is good. But sometimes the answer's right there, man. Just keeping it simple.
Yeah. I feel like when kids start getting to college, like, I don't know, they just like think they got to learn some like extra edge shit. It's like, dude, listen, nothing changes, man. There is no edge. The only edge is you versus your competition. There's no edge in training, man. We're going to squat the same way.
It's crazy because like as the level rises, the level of play, whether you're high school, college, pros, like everyone's doing the same thing, man. They're doing, they're doing squats, they're doing hip hinge, whatever. They're doing the basic ass things that everyone at every level is doing. It's just because people feel they're at a higher level. They got to do something different, Yeah.
But it's funny because when I left the Giants in 2017, everyone was like, "Yo, what do you guys do with like Eli Manning?" I'm like, "Listen, he'll bench press, but he'll do dumbbells, what does Odell do? How's he?" I'm like, "Listen, he'll squat, he says he doesn't want to squat anything heavy, but to him 350 is heavy, and to everyone else 350 is very heavy, but he moves a light." And everyone's like, "Oh, what does he do for a speed regimen?" I'm like, "Listen, same shit, plyos and plyos."
Like, yeah.
Like, this guy's going to run hard. He's going to run his balls off for 10, 15 yards and then cruise it out because to him, acceleration's king. But nothing crazy, bro. He don't got nobody with a band running behind him, holding him like a fucking dog on the leash. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's looking for that answer,
Yeah, they want to know the secret. But that's the secret is the basics work, man. Keeping it simple works. Consistency in that and doing it the right, proper way is the key, really. It's not like this is new exercise that we're doing. That's why. It's like, no, it's just we're doing everything and we're consistent about it.
It's funny.
The basics and we're consistent.
My fucking baseball guys, man, these guys are dope, man. They're like a different type of athlete, but like they'll DM me some shit on IG that they see like another guy do at like a baseball training facility. And I'm like, dude, we're not doing this wild shit, man. What the fuck?
I know. It's sexy though, right? Everyone wants to do it because
it looks great, cool. Man. A guy's fucking pitching with a sled on his hip and a band on his fucking arm. It's like, that looks nice. He wants to fucking get hurt. That's on him, but we ain't doing that dumb shit, bro.
We're gonna stick these basic ass lifts, basic ass sprints.
Basic shit, man. So there's basic principles, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Back to the basics, volume 1.
That's probably not the answer maybe some listeners or some people kind of hoping for, but I mean,
I know everyone probably slammed their pens on the fucking pad and then start rubbing their fucking foreheads.
It's what's worked with me for all these years and it continues to. So like, if it ain't broke, I ain't going to try to fix it.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Do you film, obviously you film your athlete sprint. What do you look for? What do you look for in that sprint? Besides like technique wise, like say you're addressing a 0 to 10. What are you looking at?
I'm looking, if it's 0 to 10, I'm looking how they come.
Coach, how do you watch film? How do you watch film? How they come out of the stance? Okay.
Right. How they come out of the stance. I just use my phone. I have an Android, which most people make fun of me about, but, I put it in slow-mo as they sprint out. And we just break it down together. I watch their start, how they come out. Mm-hmm. I look for any, collapse in the ankle, the knee. Like we're just looking for anything that we don't want to see necessarily. Mm. And then, there's the thing they talk about sprint signature and people have, they run this way and she runs this way. So everyone's going to have their own style. I try not to, erase 18 years of them running a certain way. I just try to find better ways. Are they going side to side as opposed to more straight out? Just little things that we can try to get 1% better without, completely shredding them apart and trying to rebuild something,
Yeah. Collapsing at the ankle. That's a good one. I hope everybody wrote that one down. Because I feel like a lot of people watch speed work and they're like, your angle's here. They look at the wrong things. They look at the torso. It's like, all right, let's look. Yeah. Let's look down a little bit more. Let's start at the foot first.
Start at the foot, and we work our way up. I watch from the side. I watch from the back, the front. You know what I mean? You got to take different angles because you'll see different things.
Coach 101 right there. Coach's eye. He's got the coach's eye.
That's it.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do in the weight room with these kids, man, to get them faster? What are your go-to exercises?
I'm a big trap bar deadlifter.
Big trap bar.
Trap bar, yeah.
Okay.
I like a lot of med ball work. We throw a lot of med balls with my guys. Yeah, I like the post-activation potentiate PAP.
Okay, yeah. Little PAP training.
Yes, shit like that. Little deadlift to a box jump or something like that.
Okay.
I like those, man. Those are always like all my athletes are touching the trap bar, 100%. They're touching the med ball, definitely.
It's funny because I remember telling one of my coworkers, I'm like, man, I said we got to get back to deadlifting, man. And and he was agreeing with me. And I'm like, let me tell you something, man. When I worked at Parisi's and I was fucking deadlifting some heavy ass weight, I was running my fastest and I was jumping my highest. I'm like, I wasn't squatting crazy weight, but I was deadlifting heavy ass weights. So I'll tell you that much.
Right. Yeah. And I love the squat. We use it for sure, but we're definitely trap bar deadlifting to answer your question. Definitely doing that.
405. You remember Phil Bond deadlifting 405?
What a time that was. Remember
that was a good time. You still got that on film, right?
That was his last lift before he headed back to Germany.
Yeah.
And this dude finished it. And the best part about it was you're on the side cheering him on, coaching him up. You kicked the weight belt up. You got so hyped. You kicked the weight belt. It was a good ass moment, man. That was a good time.
I still see that video when it's on Facebook, and I'm like, I really don't remember kicking that fucking belt, man. I might have just you were just all happy for him, man.
You were hyped, yeah.
Phil Bond, he came to intern for us at Parisi's from Berlin, and he had no place to stay, man. Talk about risk. This guy had some fucking cojones, man.
Big time. I couldn't do what he did. I don't think he came from Berlin. We're just like 2 bags, no place to stay. We're just like, hey, I'm going to try to intern at Parisi's, learn what I can. I'll figure it out when I get there. I'm like, yo, God bless, man. And I'm happy he did it because we gained a good friend over there.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Big time, man. You still work on like some top speed mechanics or no?
Yeah, we do top speed. I'm just starting to find out though.
Max Velo, everybody likes to call it now. Max Velo.
Yeah. Max velocity. We kind of blend them together a little bit, acceleration and max V, just because we're starting to find it's not so different maybe like we thought in the past. It's not I think we used to say top speed is like, it's a pulling action where maybe it's not so much pulling as it is pushing, so I like to combine them. Not everyone maybe in their sport hits top speed often, but I usually make sure all my guys at some point, whether we're using the Woodway curve, whether we're just running 40s, flying 20s, that they touch top speed at some point. Because even like baseball, unfortunately, I don't agree with it, but they got to run that 60, right?
Yeah.
For those combines. That's a lot of top speed there. And when people aren't prepared for that, bad things happen. Either a bad time or a pulled hammy or something. So
yeah, man, I've seen it.
I know you have. We like to make sure we make sure everyone touches top speed a little bit. So I combine them a little bit. There is a difference. I'm not trying to say they're the same, but maybe they're not as different as we thought is all I'm saying.
I gotta dissect that a little bit. Cause I don't teach top speed all over here. I just teach all acceleration mechanics.
And again, that's kids are gonna get faster regardless. Like it's not like if you just only do acceleration, they're gonna get faster. At their 40, their 60. It's just I like to touch upon it a little bit and come to find out they're not so different. So just hitting acceleration, you're all right.
I think I'm gonna deadlift my track kids all spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to squat them at all. Nah, I'm going to squat.
I prefer if I'm a deadlift though, trap bar. That's just me, just because.
Yeah.
I seen some ugly barbell deadlifts. And
shit.
When you're dealing with athletes, I don't have time to get people hurt on my watch. So I just keep it trap bar.
You don't want to be stiff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean, bro.
I'm gonna
But to
clip
each
that
his
out. Don't
own,
worry
man.
about
To
it,
each
man.
his own. To
Yeah.
each his own.
Word, man. Hey, so this was dope, man. This was fun as shit, man.
Yeah, it
I
was,
think
man. I enjoyed this.
I think we went for 2 hours, man. I'm gonna clip this into 2 episodes.
Cool. I'm cool with that. Like I told you, Coach Gio, yeah. I've been waiting a long time, yeah, to get my toes on the line.
And for people listening, I try to get Sully on this motherfucking podcast. I mean, I told you about it last summer,
Right.
but I was busy recording people, and then what's it called? Shit changed when August came, and then I went back to work. December, I remember we had it, and then you was on the AirPods. I'm like, not the AirPods, man.
I didn't come correct.
Yeah, because I forgot to tell you, and that's my bad. Because RJ did the AirPods, and that came out did not sound too good, but he's still people like that sound as well. But now this was dope.
That episode was live. I watched that one for sure.
We're gonna do this again, but before I let you go,
yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask you a series of questions.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how many questions. This is gonna come to the top of my head. All right. We're gonna look forward into 2021. Deep
Here we go.
into 2021.
Here we go.
All right. Who is your listen?
New York Giants NFC East champions.
You already know where I'm going with it. So this past August, it's funny because every year people are like, Gio, who is the fantasy guy you got to draft this year, right? 2 years ago, I said Lamar Jackson. You don't pick him, you're not winning, and you pick him, we won. Everyone who I told to draft him won that league, right? That's my guy. This year, I said, if you're looking for a surprise running back, it's going to be Ronald Jones. And he showed up this year in fantasy. He did. So who is your surprise fantasy pick next year?
Surprise, huh?
Mm-hmm. Like the guy that's like, holy shit, I can't believe this guy's fucking balling.
I like this. I mean, see, it might not be a surprise though.
Okay.
Because he kind of did his thing this year, but he was a rookie.
Rookie. Who we going?
And it does depend on their quarterback situation, but I'm gonna say Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool.
Yeah, I think he's a real deal.
I think he's nasty.
I think he's legit, bro.
When I found out he had a body like Calvin Johnson, I'm like, oh yeah, give him the ball.
Yeah, he's legit. I'm gonna give you one more though. Let me give you one more.
Yeah, give me one more. Who you got?
I like Claypool, and then I'm gonna say our boy Darius Slayton gonna have a Pro Bowl year, bro. You don't agree. I heard that sigh. You don't feel that.
I thought it was this year because I drafted him, and he disappointed me on that bad stretch.
Yeah, don't worry. Hang on, bro.
I'm hanging on
next year.
But if the Giants draft
Pro Bowler,
if the Giants draft Devontae Smith, I think it's curtains for him. So
you think so?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I love Slayton, man. He's got speed, he's got hands, but
I think he's a solid number 2. I'm not sure he's number 1, but
I think he's a number 1. He just got to play like it.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you what.
He showed promise, but
okay. Since you gave me 2, I'm gonna give you 2. My number 1 next year, AJ Brown.
Wow.
AJ Brown.
He's a stud though.
And I don't think people know, but he played right next to Metcalf in fucking college, and he's got the same body as him.
Which is crazy, man. It's real quick because it's like it was DK Metcalf, AJ Brown on an offense. How did they not do work at Ole Miss?
Quarterback.
Who was their quarterback at the time? Elijah Moore?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But I think their freshman year, they were ranked like number 2 in the country on that Ole Miss team.
Because that's a stacked offense. I don't know how defenses deal with that. But
yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's 2 big body receivers out there.
I like that pick, AJ Brown. Who was the other one?
I didn't say it yet, but I'm thinking right now. Let me think. Who's going to be my stud blow up next year? Oh, what's his name down Baltimore, the running back?
Dobbins.
Dobbins. I think it's going to be Dobbins because I thought Dobbins was going to be a sneaky guy this year. But he didn't get until late in the season. And he started balling, but I think Dobbins is going to be a top 5 running back next year. Him and AJ Brown. AJ Brown going to crack the top 5.
You know who just came to me, to be honest?
Who's that?
And, I could be wrong. I'm just going off his rookie sensational season. Justin Herbert, bro.
Oh, hands down. I think he's going to be a top 3 fantasy quarterback next year. Top 2.
Yeah, man. I agree.
He's sick.
I think so.
If Aaron Jones leaves Green Bay because I think his contract's up, Dylan. Going to be a big time.
BC.
Big time ball. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good to see them give him the ball late in the season. They was getting him in the mix.
Who do you think is going to be the biggest drop off in the NFL next year? And it doesn't have to be from like great to worse. It could be from like, playing good to not playing good.
I'm gonna say, trying to think. That's a good one, man. Drop off. I think the Browns, bro.
The Browns, you think so?
Yeah, I mean, this was obviously a great season they had. One of the best ones they've had in I don't know how long. But I think it goes back to being, the Cleveland Browns again. Not to sound like Juju, but the Browns is the Browns.
Oh, geez. The Browns is the Browns. Huh. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think they go to, 500 at most. They don't make the playoffs again next year. They drop off.
All right. Who's your surprise team next year? Back in the playoff picture.
Surprise team?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I automatically Giants come to mind, but I'll try not to be biased there. I'll say
that's not going to be a surprise if you ask me.
Thank you. I think we're favored in the division, to be honest. But I'm gonna say Cardinals, man.
All right, yeah. I think so. They fell off this year. Don't know how.
Yeah.
I think next year for me, from top dog to we ain't talking about you no more. The Saints done, finito.
Actually, wow. That's probably more spot on.
Yeah, and it's not even because Drew Brees is out. It's because they're in salary cap hell, and I think they trade Mike Thomas.
And I think Mike Thomas, obviously Kamara too, but Mike Thomas, he missed a few games, but I don't know if the Saints are the Saints without him, to be honest. I think he's their most valuable player.
Okay. And my surprise team for next year, listen, first off, it's a 2-part answer. One, wherever Deshaun Watson goes. But number 2, and listen, I don't care what the people say. I think the surprise team next year that's going to come out and people are going to be like, holy shit. Honestly, bro, what's his name? The Jacksonville Jaguars, man. That's a team with a lot of talent, and they just miss a quarterback.
You think that's all it's going to take, a quarterback?
Man, that is a talented offense with no quarterback, bro.
Yeah, I guess the running back Robinson is good. They got that, what's his name, Chalk?
Chark, yeah, Chark is good as bro. DJ Shark is nasty.
Yeah.
Keelan Cole is okay. You know what I'm saying?
They got that other guy too, who's a rookie this year.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got good talent on the receiving end and the running and in the backfield, and plus the top running back who's supposed to play this year was out with COVID anyway, so they're gonna go back to a 2-back system. Miles, what's his name? Not Miles Jack. Who's their is it Miles Jack, their linebacker?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, Miles Jack and Josh Allen, who the Giants should have drafted, but from
UCLA, Jack.
Come on, baby, that's a stacked 7 in the front with those 2 guys. They're gonna win some football game. It's gonna be tough in that division, but that's my surprise team.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. Who I guess is Trevor Lawrence for sure, no?
Him or Deshaun Watson, but I don't know if Urban Meyer takes Justin Fields, even though that's I think his last recruiting class.
That might be a mistake.
I don't think he takes it because he did come out and say this is the biggest decision he has to make in his coaching career, and I think this is gonna crucify him if he makes a bad one. But
right,
listen, it's either what's his name, Lawrence or Deshaun.
Yeah,
and if I'm him, I'm gonna take Deshaun.
I'm not mad at that because I know what Deshaun could do. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence can't, but I like to know what I got. You know what I mean? Yeah,
listen, this is grown men we're speaking about.
Yeah.
This is a business. You want to know what you got at the quarterback position. That's the hardest position to find in all sports across the world.
Right.
You take the best at it right now.
Right.
Then hopes for a guy that develops. But anyway, moving on. Big question right here. I always ask my listeners this one. If you weren't coaching today, what else would you be doing in your career? What would be your career job right now?
Damn. I guess some sort of entertainment, I guess. I don't know, music or Broadway acting. I don't know. Something where, I gotta be with the people and in front of the people. I can't sit behind no desk.
Yeah. Let's talk real quick. Let's just touch on that. Sully do make some. What are you? You're a DJ and an MC.
Yeah.
Right.
It's been a little while, but yeah. We DJ. We used to tour Hoboken, New Jersey. For those who don't know the area, we used to DJ. All throughout the weekend. Some of my boys still do. I kind of retired, if you will.
So Sully had little baby Sully, and he gave it up.
Yeah,
huh?
I got babies now, so we gotta focus on them.
Plural.
One on the way.
You still make music?
Yeah, we still dabble. We go to the studio and we kind of, it's like our, that's where we go to get away. That's like our release, So we make music if we come up with something worthwhile. We were in the studio back in the day with you a couple of times. We had some good times in there.
Yeah, I showed up in the studio a couple times.
You know how it goes.
People, hey, listen up real quick. I gotta put this on record. People don't believe me, but I used to tell them, yeah, we used to hang out with Jim Jones all the time. You went to Jim Jones' studio, did a record with him?
Yeah, we've been in Jones' studio a few times in the city. Yeah, Capo. Vampire Life.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, we got a song with him, and we've been in cahoots for a little bit, but that's my guy. Yeah.
He still works out there or not?
Nah, he doesn't work out there anymore. There was a bit of I guess I'll say just misunderstanding between him and management. So
I understand.
He moved on, but I still got love for him. We talk every once in a while.
Gotcha. Yeah. Good old Jimmy.
Jim Jones.
Those were the crazy times.
Those are the good times, man.
Be out there in them damn studios. No bueno, man. Anyway. Sully, brother, I appreciate you getting on here, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me and getting my toes on the line, bro.
Nah, I'm gonna get you back on here. I'm gonna get you back on here again. We're gonna do something. This is a Super Bowl special. Man, I have to do an NBA Finals special or something. NHL Stanley Cup special.
you know I'm about all sports. It don't matter. But since you just mentioned it real quick before I get off, how about my Knicks, baby?
Yeah, how about the Knicks, man? Let's go, baby.
They doing all right.
Let's go, Knicks. Man, listen. I don't keep up with the Knicks as much as I should because I'm just ashamed of all New York sports right now. And they have not been good for a long. I mean, they've been good that one season with Carmelo, Jason Kidd, J.R. Smith, but that was one season.
One season, and I was a while ago.
But they haven't been good for God knows how long. The 99 or 2000 season where they got beat up by the damn Pacers.
Yeah, it just felt good to win some games, man, to be in the conversation of winning teams.
Yeah. Getting to these damn playoffs, we'll start watching some basketball on my end again, man.
I hope so.
I used to be a Nets fan until they left me, and then I'm like, I'm not going to Brooklyn. I'm going to the Garden to watch a game, bro.
Why don't you join the bandwagon like everybody else and go hop over there to Brooklyn?
I should, right?
Why? Might as well.
Go buy a KD jersey, Jay Harden jersey. How about that trade? That was a terrible trade, and Kyrie came back, and then Kyrie comes back. Yeah, looked like Kyrie that day he came back. Comes back, and they get smoked by Cleveland.
I know, crazy, right? And they just traded some of their guys off to Cleveland. So funny how that works.
Funny, right back at you, man. Jesus, yeah, let's go Knicks. Let's go all New York sports, man. We just got, goddamn, with the Giants and the Jets, it just don't look good, man.
Hey, listen, like I said,
Mets are favored to win their division.
Listen, in my opinion, Giants are favored to win the division. So just hold that phone real quick on New York teams. We headed to the playoffs, bro.
Hey, hold on. I can't let you. This is gonna be a 5-hour episode. Listen, I was thinking you were in my mind so much when I was watching this one football game, and now I got to talk about it real quick.
All right,
we said this about 10 years ago. Teams that will never win a Super Bowl or make a Super Bowl in our lifetime. We will die before we see these teams playing the championship game in the NFL. Yeah. One of the teams was New York Jets. And right, Another one we said, and I was so worried this year when I was watching these guys play in the playoffs. Oh my God, Browns, it might happen. The Cleveland Browns. And I was like, God, it might happen. And then they lost.
Listen,
I'm like,
Gio. Yeah. When Mahomes left the game, I'm like, here it goes. Here it goes.
Yes.
Here it goes.
I was like, man, me and Sully said we're never going to see the Browns play in the Super Bowl, and it's going to fucking happen in 2021, right after the year 2020. You serious, man? I said, this is crazy. And then Chad Henne think it happened. My boy came in there. Chad Henne was a banging Wolverine in college, man. People forget when that Rose Bowl. Watch out.
That's what I'm saying. Henne, Michigan has some players, man. Don't look like it right now.
Got 2 Wolverines in the Super Bowl at quarterback, Hennessy and Brady.
Hennessy, Brady. You know who I thought was going to do some things actually down in Jacksonville?
Who's that?
What was his name? They used to call him Shoelace at Michigan.
Oh, he never tied his shoelace. Denard Robinson.
Yeah, but I guess that didn't work out.
Denard Robinson. Played against him in college my senior year. He took the first play of the game, 80 yards by himself, and then sat on the bench the whole game with no pads on.
He said, that's it for me today.
And that's all, folks. All right, so, yeah, we're going to end on that note right there, man.
All right, man.
We're going to end on the sad one. But, hey, I'm going to get you back on. We're going to do the NBA Finals special, brother.
There you go. I'm looking forward to it, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
No doubt, brother.